I actually, I've wanted to do something for a number of people in my life who I've seen struggle with fasting, struggle with a desire to do it, but going, I don't know how to do this, and then nothing ever happens. Nothing ever gets done. And I've offered to one person, I said, I will juice for you every day, if you, and I will juice extra for you every day if you'll come by and get it, because I know the impact that it will have on your life. Now, for me, I'll just want to tell you a little bit about fasting, and then I want to get specific about juice fasting, and specific about some of the things that I'm going to be juicing today. But for me, the first 2 times that I fasted, it was for 4 days, and it was water and juice only. I was a skinny guy back in college days. You've seen my son. You know what he weighs. I think I weighed less than him. And I was just, people made fun of my pencil legs and stuff. But I had gotten married and was just at a place a couple of times in my life that I needed God. I needed a supernatural answer to prayer. One time God had shut the door on us going into missions, and I fasted for 4 days, and I said, God, I'm going to fast until you answer. And God miraculously answered our prayer. Next time, it was another situation where, God, we need you. We need direction. Fasted for 4 days, and God supernaturally sends someone to walk up off the street. And you guys have heard that story, the Cecil story. So chapter 1 of Lord Disciple Me, Jesus Training Manual. And then as God was transitioning, He had spoken to me supernaturally, miraculously. It is time to leave what is now the Crossing Church, used to be Calvary Church, and trust Him. And I was scared to death. I was like, God, I need a supernatural answer. I fasted. That was that fast I just talking about. But when I left, I was going, God, I'm moving into the inner city, into what is one of the roughest areas of Tampa. That's where I'm going to be doing ministry, and more shootings, more crime. But this is where we're going to go do ministry. And I started a fast because I'm going, God, I want your presence. I want your power more than I've ever wanted before. Did a 21-day fast, water and juice. I ate 2 times because I'm not sharing all the details, but I had committed to a 7-day fast. And then a prophet came and told me, you're supposed to keep fasting. And I was like, yeah, right. Well, I ate a meal, and the whole time I'm eating, I'm feeling like this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. So I extended it 7 more days, and then someone else, and I'm like, this will never stop if I keep listening to these crazy prophets. And so I extended it another 7 days. And from that point on, for the next 6 months, I saw the power of God operating in my life like I never had before. Now, I didn't know anything about this kind of juicing, so all I did was mostly water, and then I could only go so long before I had to start taking some juice, because I was still doing stuff. I was working at the church, and I was like, stand up and get a little woozy. But I was like, I was committed. I want this to be as pure of a fast as I can. And I began to, every time I spoke or led worship, for 6 months, somebody would manifest demons. I began to see the power of God. Now, that's 20 plus years ago. In all those years now, I've continued the journey and just learning more about fasting, and more about prayer, and experiencing more of the presence of God. Now, I've also begun learning more and more about the health benefits of fasting, and those are incredible. The fast that is most often described in the Bible is the dry fast. Many fasts aren't described, so we don't know exactly what they were fasting. We know that they fasted 10 days, or we know that they fasted this long, but we don't know exactly what they fasted because it's not described. It just says they fasted. And so I had never done dry fasting. Until last year, I had never dry fasted 1 full day. That means no food, no water, nothing. I've done 7 days, now not full 7 days, I did like 6.5 days, done 3 days numerous times. And my plan this time was to do 3 days and then a day with juice, but I'll just tell you, unashamedly, I couldn't make it that far. I was detoxing pretty bad I was most of the way through day 2, but I was like, I need to drink something. I was in ministry sessions, and I was like struggling to stay awake and feeling kind of bad. Now let me explain some of that. That is called detoxing. You know what detoxing means? You're getting toxins out of your body. That is a good thing. You want to get toxins out of your body. A lot of times what happens when you start fasting is like, oh, I've got a headache. I'm going to die if I don't drink something, if I don't eat something, and we stop fasting. That's a lie. It's not true. You are actually having incredible benefits. You may not feel that way at the time. Sometimes, and I haven't felt that way in a long time, because the more your body gets used to it, and the cleaner you eat, the less you're going to feel that. But I knew coming up to the holidays, we had our annual like fondue thing that we do, and lots of cheese and lots of chocolate, and I wasn't regretting it at all. But I will tell you this, everybody in our family was going, I am looking forward to the fast this year. Why is that? As much as we enjoy food, we enjoy feeling good better than we enjoy good food. Now that's a toss-up. It's hard because you can't have both all the time. I love food. I love yummy food, good food. But too often it controls us. It controls our life way more than we realize. It brings fatigue. It brings all types of sickness. Now, we teach about healing. We teach about deliverance in here. And I want to teach the whole counsel. Because even though a lot of times what we're doing is we're teaching biblical truths on healing, I believe this is a biblical truth on healing, because I believe God has given us the fruit of the land with healing benefits. And so that's a lot of what I want to talk about today. The juice fasting is a type of fasting that you can do and not really have any loss of energy, depending on how much you do, not have any loss of caloric intake if you do enough of it. That's a whole lot of juicing. But the amazing thing is the health benefits of it. You can lose weight juice fasting if you take the same amount of calories as you do other types of food. You can lose weight. Because a lot of these things are actually going to aid in burning fat. They're going to aid in cleansing your brain. They're going to aid in revitalizing your skin. You name it. I've got a list, and we're going to post it on both Facebook. If we're able to post it on Facebook Live, I don't know for sure, but we will post it on my Facebook page if possible, or I'll just have the list posted. I'm not sure because I know it changes all the time on Facebook. But I wanted to share with you because we're going to juice each of these things and maybe a little bit more. But here's beets. I'm just going to rattle these off. I've passed them out. Lowers your blood pressure, detoxifies you, protects from premature aging, improves blood flow, treats iron deficiency and anemia, has a positive effect on your mood and mental state, protects you from cancer, improves digestion, fights inflammation, boosts energy and stamina, lowers your blood sugar, improves sexual performance, reduces arthritis, and helps eyesight if you juice the green part. How many of you does that help in any way or another? Just raise your hand. Does one of those help any? Oh, everybody. Amazing.
It reduced my cholesterol too from the 200s into the 100s.
Wow.
And it has to be pure beets, not like pickled beets, right?
It doesn't matter.
Beets are beneficial for you. Beets are healthy for you. Juicing them can do a lot of things that, if they're processed, a lot of times you're getting other things as well. So beets is going to provide certain things and certain benefits, but and juicing beets is pretty amazing because a lot of times beets kind of got a bad rap. I never liked beets. I guess I had some pickled beets, and sometimes I would eat those and they tasted okay. But I didn't even know, like, what do you do with those things?
Sweet,
man, when you juice them, they taste really good.
Eat them raw or bake them. They're like between an apple and a potato.
Really?
But they're really sweet.
Yeah, it's amazing. Carrots. I always liked carrots. But I never would have called them sweet. When you juice them, they're very sweet. And so let's just look at some of the things that carrots do. Carrots, there's 28 things on this list. I could expand each of these lists. And a lot of these I've got like the science to back them up. I just wanted to hand out a brief sheet. But it improves your immunity and controls heart disease. Reduces cholesterol. I know there's a couple guys that were supposed to be here today. One of them we were praying for yesterday. over heart issues. And I was excited that we were going to do this to bless him. So I'm hoping they do show up. But reduces your cholesterol, aids clotting of blood, heals external wounds, prevents cancer, improves bone health, cleanses the liver, cures infection, relieves abdominal gas, promotes urination, regularizes menses, that's the menstrual cycle, treats macular degeneration, enhances oral health, provides calcium for your stronger bones, aids muscle growth. You know, you can actually grow muscles while juicing. Certain things that you do, bone broth is another thing that you can continue to work out. You can actually you can lose fat, lose weight, and increase your bones. Increase your muscles. Increases your metabolism, increases its oxygen carrying capacity, provides instant energy, aids digestion, cleanses the body, reduces dryness and scars, prevents acne, source of vitamins needed for skin, controls sun damage, fights aging, aids hair growth, strengthens nails. I do not need either one of those. My nails grow so fast and my hair grows so fast. But anybody need any one of those? Yeah? Everybody again. Let's look at ginger. What does it do? Improves and prevents stroke and heart disease, treats indigestion and nausea, aids absorption and valuable nutrients into the body. Aids the absorption of valuable nutrients in the body. That's something for Nathaniel that's really important, because one of the things about Down syndrome is a lot of times that's really what ended up putting him in the hospital. Well, that's not what put him in the hospital. That's what caused the skin issue. Was he was eating foods, but his body was not absorbing the zinc in foods. And so it was a zinc deficient that was causing. Now, it was medicine that caused the ulcers in his abdomen and caused the ulcers to rupture, caused his rash to worsen, because it wasn't treating the real issue, which was the problem of absorption. We can sometimes be eating the right foods, but have a problem with absorption. Ginger improves our ability for absorption. Builds immunity and respiratory function. Heals ulcers and GERDs. Man, I wish I had known this back then. Improves diabetes, reduces pain, muscle pain and soreness, fights cancer, helps with weight loss, anti-inflammatory, helps osteoarthritis. It can relieve menstrual pain. Got a couple things here that women should be going, all right, yeah, I want that. I need that periodically. Lowers cholesterol, improves brain function and Alzheimer's. Turmeric is another thing that has incredible benefits in both arthritis and as well as things like Alzheimer's brain function. Spinach. We're going to juice some spinach too. We're going to juice kale. I don't have that on the list. And we don't have apples on the list. But it's pretty easy to find this stuff out. You can Google health benefits of juicing apples, health benefits of juicing kale. And kale is one of those superfruits. It's going to be a lot like spinach, but it will probably have some differences. But it's anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, antioxidants. It actually prevents cancer cells from forming. Builds red blood cells. Relieves rheumatoid arthritis, or relief from rheumatoid arthritis. Treats vision problems. Huge benefits for pregnant women. Strong and healthy hair. Healing and healthy skin. Great for muscle growth and strength. That's what Popeye figured out. Huge source of macronutrients and rich in dietary fiber. All right. So what I wanted to do today was actually juice for you guys. And juice for people online. I'm going to show you what I do. I think it sounds like some of you guys have already done juicing before. I did this for my parents when I was up there at Thanksgiving. And hopefully you guys are going to be able to hear. I'm going to make enough so everybody can have plenty of juice. We'll start with a couple of apples, slices. Ginger is one of the strongest things. I usually just put a little bit of ginger in, because it's got a bite. I'm just putting a little teeny bit of ginger in, and it'll be one of the strongest things. That little teeny bit, you hardly even heard it go through there. But the health benefits are incredible. Now, I've gotten to the place, because of knowing all the benefits of ginger, that I'll cut off a piece of ginger and I just remove the outside of it. You don't have to, because that's got benefits. It's just kind of dry. But I'll eat it. And it's very hot to eat in the mouth.
Yeah.
It's almost like a garlic hotness. And I'm not talking hot, spicy hot. Awesome, James. Good to see you, buddy.
Thank you.
And just because I'm going, I need some of the benefits that ginger provides. So I'm like going, I'll take a little bit of heat in my mouth for a few minutes and make a little bit of a base. Some people like, I don't mind going in my mouth what tastes delicious. And I love delicious food. But the same thing, like I actually like cayenne on a lot of things. I like the flavor of cayenne. But I would eat a cayenne. I used to grow them in our backyard. And I would eat a whole cayenne. Not because I love the flavor. Because the health benefits of cayenne, you can Google it. They're amazing. They're incredible. Now I bought big beets and I didn't think, I cut everything down before we started today, but I didn't cut my beets. You want to cut my beets in half? Or in quarters maybe? Yeah, I think you do it right there.
A suggestion for the ginger.
Oh, here's another one.
Sorry, my fault. Sorry, John.
Suggestion for the ginger, because I haven't done it to ginger, but I've done it to garlic because, you know, I know that it's better to have raw garlic than cooked garlic.
Yeah.
And so it was hard for me because the same thing. So I've been putting raw garlic in the honey, which is off, and letting it sit like that. And then when you eat it, it's not bite, or even putting in plain yogurt and eating it like that. And it takes the bite away, but you still got all the raw benefits.
Awesome.
So that could might be something I could do with the ginger.
That sounds like a good tip.
Yeah, honey. And I do the same now with garlic. What I do is I'll chop it up pretty fine, throw it in my mouth, and double something down so I never taste it. But I'll take garlic straight because it's another one of those things. These are like superfoods. God has given them to us. And I wouldn't do this just because I read about it. I do it because I can see, I've already felt a night and day difference. I've lost 10 pounds in 4 days. And there's a lot of people going, how do you do that now? You know, like, and I don't, you know, I did have a little bit to lose. I hadn't been eating perfectly. That's a little faster than I would necessarily want to always lose, but there's nothing bad about it. But I already feel so much more energy, mentally more alert. I've actually felt full every time that I've taken juice. I know that I'm still detoxing. The reason I had to stop, Nathaniel, please don't hit that. The reason I had to stop the dry fasting is because I was detoxing pretty fast. Some of these things aid in detoxing, but also dry fasting detoxes you faster than anything else. And you're actually getting some of the most pure, healthiest water when you dry fast. The benefits of it are incredible. But when your body is toxic and you start detoxing, it is a radical detox. It's a pretty fast detox. So I've tried to slow the detoxing down, but I want to detox. I want to get as much of the garbage out of my system, out of my bloodstream. We had a guy here last night who said he was going to be here today who was talking about just doing a water and juice fast, and how part of it was to get the stuff out of his system that he did when he was young, if you know what I'm talking about, and that he was totally clean by the end of 30 days. Water and juice. It wasn't spiritual in his case. It wasn't for God or for his walk with God. Gotta keep an eye on this because if I just keep talking, gotta have this thing overflow. And
Now what is this over here?
It's a beast.
That's the pulp.
That's the pulp that
yeah,
can't be.
it's actually kind of colorful. You got green on this side, that is a green. Then we got the orange. Now it's gonna turn red pretty quickly. Thank you, Dawn. Don't you like my beautiful assistant here? Dawn, the Vanna White of Operation Light Force.
You know, like if you have a NutriBullet or something like that, it keeps the pulp and turns it into more like a smoothie, but where this separates the two.
Yeah, yeah, you can do it with, and we do some things in the, we don't have a Vitamix, our Ninja, I was going to say Vitamix, we don't have Vitamix. that's one of those things that I always wanted. I won't tell you my Vitamix story. That I almost bought one for $15 at a garage sale, but walked away. No, I won't tell you about that. Oh my goodness. I didn't know what it was. I had never known Vitamix, but I had wanted a nice blender. And I go to this garage sale and I see this blender, and I can tell it's a nice one. And the guy maybe wants 20 bucks or 15 bucks, I don't remember for sure. And so I'm going to pour this in here as carefully as possible.
Good job. I would have spilled it all over the place because it didn't have spout on it.
Yep.
That
So
fiber you can make for soup and stuff too for later when
you
you can.
can make breads with it, depending on what you put in there and what you like. But yeah, you can make breads with it. You can make soups. You can. James bought us a ton of tomatoes yesterday. I was like, and I could tell they were like very, very ripe. So last night I juiced a bunch of tomatoes, and I gave Andrew some today. We juiced some more, and you can. And the thing is, like, I did not do this primarily for taste today. These are all things that have a good taste, and you can come up. Somebody can hand them out if you want. And
Well, thank you.
I'll pass them out.
This couch keeps you in.
I know, I sat on the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely does that.
you can actually add
Toast to the New
these.
Year.
Yeah. You can add these and make a smoothie. You can add, like, Andrew
Is he gonna have some?
is doing just water and juice, but he's already lost almost as much weight as I have, and he has nothing to lose. So he can't go as long as I can, just because of, you know, metabolism and body and stuff like that. Yes,
That's
let's
for
pour
Nathaniel.
some for Nathaniel here. But so he's gonna switch to more. I made him a smoothie today. He's gonna switch to like one meal in the evenings. We nicknamed that Zambian fast, because that's the first time I'd ever seen someone who would eat a meal at night. I guess I'd seen the Muslims do that, but you know, now that's what he's doing. He's gonna be doing liquids all day and a meal at night. He's a basketball coach. He's doing a lot of other things, but he's like, Dad, I am going to do this. I'm going to do the first week or 10 days. I forget what he's committed to, but he's going to finish that out. And you know, he's also, you know, sometimes when you're fasting, you get other health issues going on. Now, here's the deal. More often than not, if you're fasting, you're actually going to get healthier. Your immune system is going to be strengthened and build up. Last year, I almost didn't get sick all year until the last month. I got kind of caught a bug that was going around, and but through most of the year, I had done the fasting, and I continued periodic fasting. It wasn't until I got off that I had any sickness in the entire year. And I got a flu that was hitting most people. Most people were talking about having it for a week or, you know, 7 weeks, a month. And I think I was done with it in like 2 or 3 days. And part of what I did to knock it out is I know some of the natural things. Cayenne is one of those things. Garlic, straight garlic, ginger. And I just began dosing myself in those and ate less. I did more dry fasting because that builds your immune system faster than just about anything else. So, as a ministry, what we're typically dealing with are spiritual roots of illness, which are foundational to healing. But there are times that I've had to tell people. There's one lady we had prayed for, and she'd been healed, and we get sick again. She had tons of sinus problems, and the Holy Spirit spoke to me. And he said, ask her what her diet is. And she didn't want to tell me at first. And then she began to tell me. And I said, I want to know everything. What's your normal day? She goes, I do the same thing every day. I don't eat anything for breakfast. And it's not until about 10:30. And then I start drinking Diet Coke. And I usually drink like a 2 liter or 2 liters a day of Diet Coke.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
By lunchtime, it's always McDonald's. I always swing by McDonald's and I pick myself and my daughter up chicken McNuggets or a cheeseburger and fries. And a Diet Coke. At dinner time, it was canned vegetables, it was a hamburger helper, So you got some ground beef, canned vegetables, and a boxed, everything processed. There's nothing living at all in her diet. Well, I have vegetables. Vegetables that have been processed to the point of being in a can have almost no nutritional value left in them. And it is destroying your immune system rather than building it up. I said your immune system is destroyed before you have lunch every day. Just the amount of sugar actually shuts down your immune system. There are things, you could have that kind of sugar and be doing things to build your immune system, and it's warring against each other, but that's better than only doing things that are going to deplete your immune system. And so, God, I believe, wants us to walk in divine health, and faith is a foundational part of that. Getting our heart in the right place is a foundational part of that. Healing the wounds, the damaged spirit and soul are incredibly important parts of that. But another incredibly foundational part of that is the stuff that we eat, stuff that we drink. And there are things that we can do that accelerate our healing. I know for myself, and I've said this, God forbid, I don't believe this is going to happen. I believe God's divine protection over me, plus the way that I want Him to be Lord of my diet, that I will not face things that have been in my generational line. I just had blood work done and it was all perfect. My PSA level counts were low. In my generational line, that's not the case. But I didn't expect, the only reason we did it is because we were getting new life insurance. And and it was required. I was like, okay, cool. Well, can we look at our results? They're like, yeah, we send them to you. I was like, cool. So I will know. I wasn't going because I expected to find anything. I was expecting to be off the charts healthy. That's what the blood report said. Now, I believe that if I was diagnosed with something, there's a couple things I would do. One is I would go, I need ministry. I don't often go for ministry, not because I don't believe in it, because I'm doing so much ministry. And
Yeah, it would be kind of odd that you believe in this.
and I'm not like in a desperate crying place. But I'm going in 2 weeks to get 4 days of ministry. Partly because of this facet of ministry, we're learning broken soul. I am going to receive it. I'm going to go through the full process. And, he's like, if we don't find anything, it'll be a training session. But let's go after it. That's how I would approach if I got diagnosed with something that was serious. The other thing that I would do is I would radically make my diet fit the healthiest pattern possible. There are people that have been healed just through their diet. And through juicing is one thing that has healed people of cancer. It has healed people of all kinds of things. There's a powerful video that we watched years ago. I think you can get it on Netflix. I think you can maybe see it on YouTube. I'm not sure. You can write this down. I hate the name of it because I wish it had a more flattering name, and it could have a more flattering name. But it's called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. Okay?
Wow.
But it is a very engaging video. It is a documentary. I'm going to just tell you a little bit of the story of it. This guy was a wealthy business owner in Australia and ate, at odd hours because he was always dealing with business deals, would take people out to meals. It was always big steak dinners. It was always whatever he wanted to eat. And it showed. He was let's just say 300 pounds. I don't know. Don't quote me on the details of my story. But the gist of it is all very accurate. So what he decided to do was get serious about changing something. What he was diagnosed with is typically terminal. He wasn't a man of faith. He didn't pray that I know of to ask God to do anything to him. But he came to America. Why would an Australian come to America to do what he did? I don't know. But he carried with him a camera. And he drove all across his nation from coast to coast. And all he did every day was juice. Now, he would go to truck stops and eat in those little diners at the truck stops. And he would go to restaurants. And he would sit with people. And he would sit with people and ask them what their physical issues were. And what they were sick with. And talk about what they're eating. And he would tell them his story. And as as he progressed, he committed initially to 40 days. I think it was like 90 or 120 days. I can't remember how long he ended up going. He ended up in this resort place because one of the things that happened along the way is he met a truck driver who was diagnosed with the same thing, who was actually too large now to fit in his cab, and was had a condition that was terminal, and his heart went out to the guy. So the guy can't make a living. He's, down in every area of his life. He said, I will pay for your hotel stay. I will put you up in, and he put him at a resort, and I will pay for all of the ingredients of your juicing if you'll do this. That guy said, I'll do this. And he put him up, and every day they set it up at a grocery store, where he would go to this grocery store, pick out his stuff, and go up to the counter, and the bill was paid, and they would juice for him. And what began to happen is people in this town began to hear about what this man was doing and said, I want in on it. And so the grocery store said, we'll juice whatever you buy and you bring to us, we'll juice it. So they had several different juicers up there, and they had their employees juicing for people. And it's a pretty amazing story. But this guy went from having a terminal illness, horrible blood work, to having nearly perfect blood work. I think it was either him or the truck driver, I can't remember which, had been like a swimmer, a serious swimmer in college. Even thought about training for the Olympics. And neither one of them would you guess that by looking at them at this point. By the end, the guy that was the business owner is walking on the beach, and he's pretty proud of his new body, which was, I don't know how much less than it was when he started. But his blood work was normal. He no longer had his terminal illness. So it's a powerful video to watch. But when we combine that with spiritual fasting, and we are praying and fasting, then it is amazing what can happen in our lives. We can experience more of the presence and the power of God. Even Jesus himself, the Son of God, God in human form, when he went into the desert for his 40-day fast, it says he was full of the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit had descended on him at his baptism, but we don't know of any miracles that happened before the 40 days. Through the 40 days, he had the most intense spiritual attacks. Satan himself came to tempt him, but it says he left the desert in the power of the Holy Spirit. Something happens when we fast, that the power of God comes on our lives like it never has before. We experience often more of the miraculous in our lives through fasting. So today I mainly wanted to focus on sharing some of the health benefits of juicing and juice fasting. I'm going to juice the rest of the stuff, and we can have more after we turn off the camera, and I'll take questions. But we'll turn off at least the live Facebook Live. Say goodbye to you guys, and we're going to keep the other stream going just in case there's some questions that come up. And but yeah, I want to do this stuff.
Can I see the pulp side? I'm just curious.
Yep. In fact, it would be good, Andy. Do you mind
You
taking
can
that
eat
and
it
dumping
even
it?
just like it is.
Yeah, I can.
Okay. I usually just dump it kind of in that pile back in the woods real quick. But yeah, you can. It's moist.
You
It
can
is
eat it
all
like it
vegetables. Normally, now I did enough today that you could use this.
Put it in salad.
Yeah.
You can use it. You said make breads. What else?
Like banana bread, but you've got like zucchini bread, or you've got carrot bread, carrot cake.
Right.
You're going to have pretty much the same kind of stuff that you would put into carrot cake. You could put some of the juice in. Of course, you're going to put other things in.
Add it on top of a salad.
You
Oh,
could
that's
use
true.
almost, now, if you're going to do your apples, you'll do like I did today. Sometimes, you don't have to. To juice, you can keep the seeds in and everything. But if you're going to make like apple juice, or you want to make, you can actually, this is wonderful. If you just got a bunch of apples, and a lot of times I go to the fruit stand and I buy the stuff that they're ready to give away. I'll buy like all the apples I got, because sometimes I got like a big thing for $1 and they're all crinkly and I'm like, I'm going to come home and juice them. And I just do apple after apple after apple. Now, if I'm just caring about the juice, I just throw in the whole apple. Because sometimes they're kind of shrunk, they're kind of small apples. If I want apple sauce and apple juice, or I'm juicing, then what I'll do is I'll peel them and core them. And then I juice all of that, and I've got the makings of applesauce over here, and I've got juice, and I can throw in the carrots, I can throw in the kale, spinach, whatever else, and so yeah, you can use all of this. I don't always, because a lot of times I just don't have the time to do it all.
Can I ask you
So,
a question?
yeah.
What percentage of to make what you did was very good. What percentage of each one of these did you put in there? Like, how many carrots did you use?
Oh, yeah, we gotta take that out, sorry.
I think you used a lot of carrots.
I used, let me see how many,
I saw them 3 or 4.
This
at
was-
least, 5, 6.
Oh, it was more than that. You used
I
a
used
lot
a good
of
portion
carrots.
of these. I don't think it was full. This was 5 pounds. I probably used like 3 pounds of carrots. I only used, I used maybe 3 apples because it looks like I had 4 apples. Maybe 2.5 apples because there might be an apple and a half left in here. I didn't use much ginger. Did it have a bite to it?
It was very small.
I didn't
Tasted
even
it
notice.
all.
Okay.
I didn't notice the ginger.
I usually would put more in it. It was just for me, and I feel the bite. But what I usually do is I'll juice for the family,
And then add your bite.
and then I add my bite. I add the stuff that I think is just like, it doesn't bother me, and it's unbelievable how healthy it is.
And how about luscious spinach? You used 1 container?
I used a couple of handfuls. I probably would have used more because, it's just the spinach is a little bit more. I don't know what I want to say. It's not that hard. You just gotta like wad it up and squeeze it in there. It's not.
The apples, you're talking about the seeds. I had heard that the seeds, because I used to do it, and then I think the
Well, you
last.
wouldn't want seeds in your applesauce. That's
Okay,
the only
now,
thing take them out.
I had
Use
thought
them-
about a year or so ago, when I was doing the NutriBullet, somebody had said that the seeds of the apple contain some type of a toxin in them.
Really?
And to not do it. I don't know if that was true or not.
A lot of things, the seeds actually have incredible benefits. Like,
Yeah, I know.
They've had great seed extract and great fruit seed extract. You know, so when I throw in, I don't buy typically the grapes that have seeds, but if I did, I'd just put the seeds in there. It's expensive stuff. And you're going to get the benefits of it for no more money when you juice it. And did anybody not like the flavor?
It was very good.
Was it hard?
No, it was fine. Drank it all.
You can see yourself drinking this every
So you
day?
put the whole entire beet in there.
Just that one. We canceled the other one. Just
You
so.
can add so many other things too.
Oh,
You know,
there's
pretty much, I mean, you know,
Blueberries, you can add
anything.
berries.
But anything that's good for you can be
I
good.
love berries. I eat berries all
We
day long.
made it! You know, part of why I did this today was for Ron.
Huh?
And part of why I did this today was for Ron.
Oh, you made
Because
it.
I was like, some of the things for his heart that I was doing research.
You know, you talked about Alzheimer's. There's evidence out there, but I also know when I was going to my health coach a few years back, she personally knew somebody who was pretty much death's door and had Alzheimer's, and they cured them totally starting with like 4 tablespoons a day of cod liver oil. And I know a few years back, I was on the verge. We were talking about the possibility of me having Alzheimer's. My memory was totally gone. It could have been because of fibromyalgia, it could have been menopause. There's all different kinds of reasons it could have been. But just by adding
Now, is
the
this recipe?
coconut oil and
I didn't give you a amount, but I can tell
coconut
you.
oil, fish oil, or olive oil, I totally got my mind back. Yeah, fish oil, olive oil. At least take 2 tablespoons a day of any of those. It's just so healthy for your brain.
How you doing, Andrew?
And
Good,
all
how about
kinds of other
you?
things.
Sorry about that text. I couldn't hear your answering machine, and then I put my phone down after I texted you, and then I saw it later. I'm really sorry.
I take
But
2
you're feeling better?
tablespoons
Yeah.
of coconut oil every day in my
I'm
eggs.
sorry.
That's
And
how
you can
make
turn
sure
off
I
the
get it.
live stream.
And then I'll take
Alright.
an
Bye.
fish oil pill.
Bye.